Welcome back to Sunrise Daily. Well, we're joined now by Mr. Ikechukwu Amaechi, who is the publisher of Niche newspaper. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you for having me.
This development in Edo State, I mean, journalists are used to hearing all these allegations here, there, and when politicians get involved in all of these things, and then you see thugs also coming in, the police sometimes get caught in the middle. But then, you're aware of this kind of matter. What's your perspective on what's going on there?
What's going on in Edo State right now is rather unfortunate, and it is sad. I watched the two gentlemen from both parties speak, and from what they said, we're not going to get any solution to the crisis in Edo State. I think what is going on in Edo State is simply a proxy war for 2015 elections. It's all a dress rehearsal, as it were, for what is going to come in 2015.
So it looks like what, it's going to get worse before it gets better?
I think so.
What if the police step up their act? Will we continue to see thugs run riots in the state?
Well, again, it is a clash of interest. The two political parties, the two major political parties, the ruling party in Edo State, which is the APC, doing their thing, and of course the ruling party in the country, which is the PDP, thinking. Don't forget that there are major players at the center from Edo State. It is a fight for supremacy. So I don't even know what police can or cannot do because the interests are fundamental, and what's going on in Edo State now is the same zero-sum politics, the game they are playing, and that's not the way to achieve peace. It must be a game of win some, lose some. But when you want to appropriate all the gains, I think we are bound to have what we are having now in Edo State.
What do you think the police can do? Because, I mean, when politics begins to get violent, you know, we then need to call security agencies and say, you have to help keep the peace. But when it would seem that one party believes that, or both parties believe that the police is in favor of the other, what can the police do to win the confidence of both sides and prove that on this one it is above board?
To be on the side of justice. It's as simple as that. The police is not Edo State police, neither is it PDP police, neither is it APC police. It is the Nigerian police. And it is their constitutional responsibility to maintain law and order. And that must be done on the basis of justice. Without justice, you can't have law and order. So the police must be above board. The police must be neutral in all issues. They must treat the Edo crisis based on law. But what we have now is APC believes because the federal government controls the IG reports directly to the president. And yes, like they said, constitutionally the governor is the chief security officer, but we also know that the commissioners of police we have in the country, they take their orders from the IG, who takes his order from the president. And that is, until we begin to see security agencies in this country as serving the country, the interests of the country, and not the interests of the party at the center, then we're going to have problems.
But about that particular case, I mean, we have heard people say that, look, politicians will latch onto that when they think it doesn't favor them. But when they win elections, they praise the same security agencies. Well done. Thank you for sending all of these men and all of those. But when it looks as though they're not having their way, then they throw up that kind of excuse.
I agree with you. It is all about interest. It's all about interest. Of course, I monitored Oshomole's election in 2012. Of course, when it seemed as if he was losing, if you remember, Oshomole was still in his village, he quickly addressed a press conference where he leveled all manner of allegations against security agencies and said he was rushing back to Benin. He threatened fire. But of course, when he won, he went on again to praise the president for making it possible for security agencies not to do their work. I agree with you that when it suits them, one way or the other, but the police must be seen to be neutral. That's the only way not to solve the problem. It doesn't matter what Oshomole alleges or what PDP alleges if the police do what they ought to do, and that is to fight for justice, to maintain law and order, no matter whose us is God. Unless they do that on the platform of justice for all, then we are bound to have problems.
Do you think the fact that, pardon me, do you think the fact that the police say they've arrested 12 persons and they're going to charge them to court about this same crisis in Edo State, you think it will help send any warning signals and stave off further attacks?
Maybe, but then it depends on what happens after arresting them. Of course, what we have in this country, don't forget that when Abdulrazak Momo was attacked on Monday, some people were equally arrested. I think the majority leader, Philip Shuaibu, was also arrested with a couple of other guys. And they were charged to a magistrate court. Of course, they were granted bail in their own, on their own recognition. And they came back. If you've arrested 12 people, and of course you take them again, and they are granted bail, the whole cycle continues. There must be the political will to punish those who commit crime in this country. Unless and until there is that political will, we will continue to have problems.